the smartest film critic in the world, Cole Smithy.
Hi, this is Cole Smithy with ColeSmithy.com and your guide to what to see and what to avoid at the movies this week. At nearly 75, Al Pacino's face seeps with hints of the multitude of characters he's played over the course of his rich career as an actor of stage and film.
It's your agent!
You gotta do something. You have no money.
Why don't you get me a deal writing my memoirs? Isn't that what washed-up actors do?
The film's opening sequence is a pure tour de force. Pacino's Simon Axler character sits in his backstage dressing room of a Broadway theater, warming up while putting on stage makeup for his role in a production of Shakespeare's As You Like It. As he stares into the mirror, reciting the All the World's a Stage monologue, Simon questions his delivery. Can he deliver the lines believably to himself? Call it a late-life personality crisis. When he does finally make it onto the stage, Simon barely gets out a few lines before taking a swan dive into the orchestra pit below. Finally, Simon can feel the literal rock bottom of truth he's been seeking that can remove him from the burden of having to inhabit roles that blur together in his mind's troubled state of what could be Alzheimer's disease. A 30-day stint in a glorified psych ward that's more of a luxury rehab lodge than a hospital puts Simon in the company of Sybil, played by Nina Arianda. Sybil is the shell-shocked wife of a pedophile she caught molesting her young daughter. Because of Simon's past film roles in which he played an assassin, Sybil wants to hire him to knock off her husband. Simon's utter rejection of her proposal only leads Sybil to stalk him after he returns to his upstate New York mansion estate. Similarities to Birdman run through Barry Levinson's thoughtful adaptation of Philip Roth's 2009 novel of the same title. There are strong corollaries between Al Pacino's aging actor Simon and the Riggin character played by Michael Keaton in Alejandro González Inarritu's Birdman. Both are older actors grappling with a lifelong quest for truth that they find easier to attain on stage than in their day-to-day lives. They each seek a divine obliteration of self before a mesmerized theater audience expected to parse out the factual from fictional substance of their adopted souls. Sticky stuff.
What happened?
Want to stay for dinner? Well, she's my friend's daughter.
She's had these fantasies about you. She glorified you.
She thinks I'm starstruck.
In both films, our thespian leads find themselves locked out of their Broadway theaters just as they are about to walk on stage. The classic actor's nightmare scenario sums up a mutually queasy psychological state that can only be assuaged by a cataclysmic shift in attitude as prodded by the people closest to them. But where Birdman unreliably dips its narrative toe into the waters of magic realism to realize its core truth, The Humbling connects the subconscious mind of its doddering protagonist to the desert of the real, which in this case arrives in the form of Pegeen, played by Greta Gerwig, a 30-something lesbian whose actress mother, played by Diane Wiest, did more than just play opposite Simon on stage more than 30 years ago. They shared a fling for which Wiest's character still remembers the exact number of assignations. Pegeen harbors a crush on the friend of the family Simon for the imagined import of a prop ring he gave her as a gift when she was 8. Pegeen took it to mean that they would someday be married. Romance and trouble lurk when Pegeen shows up at Simon's door after breaking up with her lesbian lover. The winter-summer relationship that develops between Pegeen and Simon has both good and bad effects on Simon's life. Greta Gerwig's portrayal of Pegeen resonates with the complex layers of ambiguity that Philip Roth put into the character. Sensual and transformative, Pegeen is an irresistible creature whose past pattern of ruined romantic unions must eventually rear its thorny aspect.
I don't know what's right for me. I don't know what's wrong for me.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. You're coming with me now.
You will stop seeing our daughter.
Your daughter is a grown-up.
Now that Birdman has collected awards and Oscar nominations, it's sour grapes to suggest that an injustice has been done to The Humbling. Nonetheless, it is a better movie. I give this memorable picture a B+. My sleeper pick is Gabe Polsky's Red Army, and my guilty pleasure pick is The Duke of Burgundy. My must-have DVDs are The Green Prince from Music Box Films, Air Supply from MVD Visual, and Wetlands from Strand Releasing. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a remarkable outlier in the teen movie genre, even if tone-deaf critics like Roger Ebert panned the film upon its release in 1982. Screenwriter Cameron Crowe adapted the script from his popular novel Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a true story about a year he spent undercover posing as a senior at Claremont High School in San Diego. Crowe's keen observations of early 80s teen culture provided director Amy Heckerling with a treasure trove of cultural identifiers to apply to the era's iconographic teen archetypes. Many of Heckerling's exquisite casting choices proved prophetic. Revered actors such as Sean Penn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Forrest Whitaker, Eric Stoltz, and Nicolas Cage, then Nicolas Coppola, got their starts in Fast Times. The movie was a forerunner to the John Hughes Brat Pack coming-of-age films that filled out the 80s teen movie craze. Episodic in structure and involving a series of equally balanced mini-plots, the minutia-filled movie is unique in the lexicon of teen movies in that it is told from the perspective of its young middle-class protagonists. Most of the fledgling characters are living adult lives in spite of their ill-preparedness for the responsibilities of adult existence. Nearly everyone has a job and drives a car. No one talks about going to college as an interim step to contributing to society. As its title suggests, the times are moving faster than the teens can reasonably handle. Still, they put up a strong front. Although the film's soundtrack is populated primarily with cheesy Southern California pop rock from the likes of Jackson Browne, Joe Walsh, and Don Henley, the visuals tell a different story. Posters of punk groups like Blondie, Elvis Costello and the Attractions, the Buzzcocks, and the B-52s fill the walls of Robert Romanus's Mike Damone character, a high school senior living on his own. Damone pays his rent and bills by scalping concert tickets and taking bets on sporting events. He's a sexual know-it-all, happy to share his smarmy methods with his best friend Rat, played by Brian Backer, a shy nerd with a crush on Stacy, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, a classmate who works across the mall from the cinema where he works. The film's straight-ahead approach to teen sexuality is one of its greatest strengths. Stacy is only 15, but she feels pressured to lose her virginity and master oral sex. Her sexual encounters with a 26-year-old stud and with Damone are less than romantic. Stacy's subsequent pregnancy incites a crisis decision that meets with an anticlimactic resolution squarely in keeping with the reality of the times in which the story is set. Informed by the similarly aged Heckerling's and Crowe's simpatico sensibilities toward their slightly younger generation, Fast Times cleverly employs drama and comedy in equal parts. Sean Penn's brilliantly crafted stoner surfer character, Jeff Spicoli, provides comic relief with an attitude and vocabulary that is shamelessly and unconsciously self-reflexive.
You're ripping the car.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
Spicoli is pure superego and id. As such, he gives the movie its most illustrious anti-hero, a guy who looks out at the raging surf and says to the waves, "Let's party." Even James Dean never enjoyed such a glorious moment of punk expression. Thanks for watching, and visit ColeSmithy.com for more.
Bye.